Well, hello everybody, it's NW Rago here, games, movies, and vlogs. How the hell is everybody? And welcome to the movie haul for April 2022. Oh man, I've got a serious treat for you guys this month here. It is, what do you call it? It is 7:05 a.m. on April 2nd here. I literally just woke up. So yeah, man, last night, yesterday on April 1st, I had my boy KMD Allen here. So we went out. We were out till like, I think like 9 o'clock, like 10 something at night last night, with me driving around and picking up the stuff for this month's movie haul. And we didn't go to that many places this time because I think last month I told you guys I went to like 7 places last night, but this time we only went to like 3, but they were stretched so far apart around the Vegas Valley here that yeah, I didn't get him home till like 10:30 last night. So yeah, but I got some crazy stuff for you guys this time. I have a excuse me, I have a double figure unboxing for you guys this month. Not a triple one again, sadly, like last month, but hey, it's still a double. So yeah, enough of me jabbering here. Let's well, you know about the first here. Enough of that. So let me show you what I got this month, because y'all are gonna love this. Okay, so I turned the light on, just in case if during the intro, if you guys couldn't see me that well here. Now, remember last month when I got the Chrysalis alien figure here? Just gonna show off its badassery here for a little bit. Well, guess what? Apparently, NECA also has another xenomorph type, and man, this one is crazy. I so think that the brand is so inspired by Aliens Colonial Marines, because when you look at that game, there's different breeds of xenomorph. For those of you who have played it on Xbox like myself, I will, as I'm talking about this here, the playlist, I'm hoping I'm pointing to the right place here, a playlist I made of my playthrough of that game will show up here right as I'm talking about it here. So if you guys, I know it's an old game, but for those of you who have not heard of it, go watch my playthrough of it and enjoy it, because there's a bunch of spots where I die a lot because some parts of that game were a complete pain in the ass. But anyways, I think, like, anyways, yeah, NECA is like, it's so inspired by that game, because just like how there's the Chrysalis alien figure, I got, what do you call it? I got this. Now check this out. Look at this. The Rhino alien. Look at this. Okay, apparently, like, that's what it looks like. I mean, a xenomorph with a rhino horn. I mean, isn't that crazy? That's insane, right? And here it is. Here's a bigger picture of it, and then here it is in the box. Wow, just from looking at this alone, this thing is huge. I don't know what it is about NECA, but they're all their figures are just pretty good size, and this thing was like $40 at Target. So, and I went to the Target out in Henderson. For those of you who live here in the Vegas Valley, I went to the Target on Water Street. For those of you who live out that way. So, yeah, let's get this boy out of the box, shall we? So I can't wait to talk about this, everybody. Let's get him out of the box. Alright, where to begin? Yeah, never mind, I see it. Alright, so oh, come on. Okay, why? You gotta be kidding me here. Oh my gosh. Oh my god. Okay, there we go. There's like those two pieces of tape. Let me just make sure the camera is at like a. There we go. Man, okay. Alright. So there's that. Okay, I did not mean to rip the box. That wasn't supposed to happen. Oh my god. Look at this. Wow. I swear, it's like, it's like one of those situations in monster movies where it's like when the monster gets, it's kind of like that moment in Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom when the Indoraptor is fully revealed. You know, you see like the big scary monster and the thing's about to be let out. Now they got the wires holding it. Oh wow, this one, okay. Oh, so, okay, this is, I don't know if you guys can see this, but look at this. They got like one wire holding just the one leg. They don't like this. The leg up front here doesn't have a wire holding it, but the man, oh my god, the most wires are the one holding its head. Oh, good Christ. Okay, wow. There's not that many wires on this one. I'm actually surprised. I'm actually really surprised. There's not many wires holding it in the packaging here. That's actually very interesting with this one. Oh, this one's actually a lot more easier than the Christmas alien. Alright, just okay. So let's see what this figure is all about, shall we? Okay, so right off the bat, okay, the arms. Okay, so it looks like, the arms, this part of the arm does not move that much. Okay, so does have some range of movement, and then this part of the arm, oh wow, okay, so this part of the arm, I'm gonna set the camera on the box. Okay, so it looks like here it doesn't, okay, so it looks like the upper arm, that's the only range of movement it has, and then the lower arm, okay, so lower arm, okay, that's not bad. And the fingers, and it looks like, oh, that is cool. The hand, so it looks like the hand I'm gonna scoot closer because I don't want y'all to see the, I don't want y'all to see the other stuff. I don't want y'all to see the other stuff yet, that I got. So it looks like, just like on the Chrysalis alien, the fingers move, and the hands move, so that's cool. And then same thing with So it's the same thing here with the other arm as well. It's kind of stiff, which is really odd. It's a little... Okay, so the other hand has the same range of movement, but when it comes to like the upper and lower arms, it's a little stiff, which is very, okay. Huh. Oh, there it goes. I got it to move. Okay, so there covers the arms, the legs. Okay, so the feet. Okay, so as you can see here, the feet have a nice range of movement, and wow, the knees move more easier than the arms, which is very okay. That's a bit odd, really, to be honest. Same thing with and it's same thing goes for the other with the other leg here. And now let's look at this. Now let's look at this thing's head. Oh wow. Okay, so as you can see here, the mouth moves, which is dope. Well, that's actually cool. Okay, so the mouth moves here. That's cool. All right, and apparently. Okay, see how clear the dome is right here on top of the head? I think I could have sworn on the box somewhere it said that that the clear dome was removable, because if you notice in the dome you can actually see the rest of the head. And I think you can, I could have sworn when I got it from Target yesterday, I could have... Oh, there we go. Yeah, there we go. I think I'm gonna leave this clear part off here, because just look at this thing. Okay, and also, okay, so the legs can move out. The legs can move outwards, and then the torso. Okay, and then you can... Torso has a little thing of movement there. Really short tail. I'm surprised on how short this... I'm so shocked on how short this thing's tail is, but it's I guess, like, since it's based on a rhino, rhinos have short tails, so, you know, I can see why. Okay, and, okay, so you can make the head do some some creepy exorcist type shit. Okay. Okay, so now that I covered all the movement, now right off the bat, I have no... Okay, the arms are a little stiff on the movement, so that's a bit odd. It's not as more free looking. It's not as like easily moved as the chrysalis alien. The arms are a bit stiff on this one, so that's like my only con with this. That's my only con, but the rest of it is just great. I mean, again, much like the chrysalis alien, the detailing on this thing is just amazing. Just wow. The makers of this put so much time and effort into this. I mean, this is just awesome. Man, I'm loving the NECA brand more and more here, because they put so much time and effort into their figures, I swear. Wow. And I love like how where the mouth is, there's like the two fangs on the sides of the mouth here. That so reminds me of Gamera. That I would not be surprised if somebody saw a Gamera movie and just decided, oh hey, let's put the fangs on the side of the mouth. Put down in the comments if you think that that Gamera was a little bit of inspiration for this figure. Because seriously, I would not, because it's so obvious that it is. If it's not, I'm shocked. But if somebody says it's not, that's bullshit. So, but wow, Wow, this thing was so worth getting. Like crazy. I love the color scheme. I love how it has like this silvery blue color scheme mixed in with the black, because usually xenomorphs are just solid black all the way through. Um, but yeah, this thing is great. Honestly, I would recommend getting this. So, um, with the stiff arm movement being my only con, this figure gets a solid 9.5 out of 10. Stiff arm movement, amazing detail, easy movement on the rest. So yeah, yep, 9.5 out of 10 for this one. This one just looks so awesome. Alright, on to the next figure, and boy, you guys are gonna love this one. Probably more than this. Apparently this thing is supposed to go on all fours, but I don't know how to make it go on all fours, like the Indoraptor here, I guess. So now for the second figure. Now, I am a huge fan of the Pacific Rim Legacy, having both movies and having Season 1 on download off the internet in the English dub and in HD. So at Brad's Toys and Collectibles yesterday, I got, man, y'all are gonna love this. For you guys, some of you out there may have this, but this is my first time getting anything from Pacific Rim, getting any merch, because I got this big thing over here. This thing cost me $108. Not a knife head figure, and I don't know which brand. Oh wow, NECA didn't. Oh wow, I didn't know NECA made this one, but holy shit, man. Man, this is insane. When I saw this boy on the shelf, I'm like, I wasn't gonna get it at first, but then, a few minutes later, because I almost got the Shape of Water monster figure that's also made by NECA, which I think is like $52 or something like that. But when I saw this, and I'm like, oh my god, I still have enough money to get this, so I went ahead and got it, and I can't wait to talk about this one, because like I said, I love Pacific Rim. It's one of the greatest, it's actually my second fictional universe, second to the MonsterVerse, because I know it's human, it's giant monsters sent by aliens fighting robots, made by, humans, but it goes like 2 movies and 2 seasons of a Netflix anime, which is done with some seriously great animation. It goes into how humans deal with that. It goes deeper into it with likable human characters. Every kaiju in the Legacy has its own unique design. So, and every giant robot has its own unique design as well. So, it's more than just what its premise is what I'm saying. So, let's get this big boy out of the box, because I've been wanting to talk about this one, all night, really. Right, man, this is crazy. Man, this is crazy here. Man, where do I even start with this one? And you see how, like, huge this box is? Like, I don't even know if it's in full... The box, the figure itself is about the size as about the size of the Rhino alien here. I think I'll start from... You know what, how about I just do this? How about I just poke a hole in the... How about I just do it like this? Okay, sorry I'm not talking as much here. Oh, man. Wow. Okay. So, right off the bat here, there's only... That's crazy. If you look, there's only 2 wire... Okay, there's 3 wires holding me. One for his, big blade on his head here, and then, one on his torso, one holding his feet. Alright, so, wow, okay. Man, the wires that are holding him are like those stiff ones. Okay, did I get it? Did I get the one holding his nose? I think I got it. Nope, not even close. Like I just barely even cut it. Oh, there, okay, there we go. Let's get this guy out. Holy shit. Okay, so, okay. Alright, so let's see, right off the bat here. Okay, arm movement. Got the upper, lower arm. Okay, my only thing with, does the hand move? Oh my god, okay, so the hand does, okay, so, the arm movement is nice and loose, and, oh my god, even the second arm, the second arm doesn't move as much as the little arm doesn't move as much as the bigger arm, but okay. So, even the hand moves on the little arm. You know what's crazy? I didn't even know, that Knifehead even had the smaller arms, because in the movie itself, Knifehead is always shrouded in shadow all the time, so I don't even know if I didn't even know he had the smaller arms here. So same thing with his other arm here. Okay, so you got like you got the other arm move with the hand being able to turn. Okay, and let's see his legs. Okay, so his legs got, okay, so it looks like his feet kind of move. Okay, his feet kind of move, but at the knee it has a lot of movement at his knees. Feet sort of move, but I guess like because of his anatomy, it can't move that much. Okay, so yeah, the feet go up and down, and all they can do is go up and down. Like, they can't go, the knees can go side to side here, it looks like. Okay. So y'all can see that, the knees can go side to side. Does this short tail move? Okay, so the tail doesn't move at all, which is really interesting, because it looks like the tail should move. Okay, so the tail doesn't move, which actually that's my only con with this figure, is that the tail don't move. Like, the tail is just like, the tail's in a fixed position. So that's the only thing I don't like about this figure, is that his tail don't move. So, but other than that, dude, the detail on this is amazing. I love the skin detail on him. This is so awesome. Oh, and then of course, okay, mouth moves. Does his head move? His head moves, but just side to side. Head moves, okay, so just side to side. Okay, so my score for this one, what do you call my score for this? 9 out of 10, because the head doesn't move very much, and the tail doesn't move at all. But other than that, dude, I'm sorry, other than that, everybody, arm movement, great. Amount of range on all 6 limbs, great. Skin detail is just as awesome. And I love how I love the battle damage paint that they gave it when, because anyone who has seen the first Pacific Rim movie when it came out back in 2013, well, I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys have seen it. In the movie when the giant robot, Gypsy Danger, when it shoots Knifehead right in the chest, you see all the blue blood flying all over it. I like that they included that it has like battle damage, so I do like that little detail here. And with the way his face looks, I think the animal that inspired Knifehead was the goblin shark, because goblin sharks, their faces really do look like that. But this is amazing. Was this worth the 108 that I spent on this? Yes, it very much was. And I love like how the claws on his bigger, actually on all 4 of his arms here, the claws look really sharp. Wow, I don't know what it is about NECA, man. When it comes to NECA, they put a lot of time. You can tell that the makers of NECA are fans of they're fans of big time movie franchises like King Kong over there, or Aliens, you know, or the Xenomorphs. They are true fans of the name, and the figures prove it. So yeah, so overall, yeah, 9 out of 10. Great skin detail, great range of movement on the arms and the legs, and with the with the mouth being able to open and shut. And only con is the head doesn't move that much and the tail don't move at all. But skin detail great, battle damage detail great. Yeah, so let's get to 9 out of 10. Anybody, I'm pretty sure a lot of y'all probably have this one, or any of the other kaiju from the movies anyway. And I hope NECA in the future makes figures of pretty much all the kaiju in the Pacific Rim Legacy, because shit, man, there's like 20 different kaiju from both movies and the anime total. When you watch all of it in one go, I think there's like 20 something different kaiju, and I really hope, and I'm saying this to the NECA company itself here, if anybody who works with NECA ever, sees any of my videos, I hope that at least a couple of you guys out there are ones who work for NECA here. Please make figures of all of the kaiju from the Pacific Rim Legacy, because clearly you guys are fans of the name, because this figure looks badass, So even the kaiju that are in the Netflix anime Pacific Rim the Black, please make figures of those kaiju as well, please. And just do all of the kaiju all in general, because think about it, an entire shelf that's nothing but Pacific Rim kaiju. That would be badass. That would be just awesome. So yeah, I would definitely, if you're a Pacific Rim fan, definitely get this. Alright, so yeah, now on to the next part of this month's movie haul. So now, I talked about the Knifehead fell over here. Just make sure the camera is okay. So yeah. So I just want to apologize when I was talking about the Knifehead figure. If I repeated myself a couple of times, I do apologize for that. I have a weird habit of doing that in a lot of my videos when I talk about stuff, because none of this is scripted. None of my videos, except MonsterVerse Explained, none of my videos are scripted. Everything is off the cuff. So yeah, I do apologize for that. So now on to the movies, and well, before I even talk about the movies, now Zia Record Exchange, for those of you who live in the Vegas Valley, I'm not affiliated with them, like I don't work for them or anything like that, but for those of you who love to go to Zia's, there's this deal that they have, where it's like if you get a t-shirt and you walk into the store wearing this, I'm not joking. They explained this to KMD Allen and I yesterday, that if you walk in wearing their shirt, it's 10% off your next purchase. I'm not kidding. I was literally explained that yesterday, and it's $20. It's worth it. So yeah, and I managed to get a shirt in 3X because that's my shirt size, which is surprising because the biggest that I saw was 2X, and then one of the cashiers managed to find a 3X shirt. So that's about as good a deal as anything I've ever seen. Okay, so now on to all the movies. You see all the movies I got from like the small haul, and my other one, my February and March. So you can probably tell that when I was up at Zia's like March and February, I didn't. There's no segment where I flip off a bunch of Wild Eye releasing movies, because at the Zia's that I went to on Rainbow and Charleston, for those of you who live here in the Vegas Valley, if I were to have done that, what do you call it? KMD Allen would have like gotten super annoyed by that. So so it's like I didn't do it. So I didn't do it this time. So, but I most likely will. I most likely will next time. So yeah. Anyway. So let's talk about all the movies that I got now. Oh, and also, no TV show this time because I wasn't able to find one. I wasn't able to go and find a TV show to get this time. So to start off this movie haul, we've got the next movie in the MCU after the Avengers. We got Iron Man 3, directed by Shane Black. And for those of you who don't know, Shane Black was the guy that played in the very first Predator movie from 1987, and Shane Black was the character of Hawkins, the character that was reading like half the movie, and he had glasses and told a bunch of pussy jokes. And he was the first living character to die in that movie, which is really sad because he was a very likable character. So it really sucks that he was the first guy to get killed off, But he directed this and the 2018 Predator movie. So yeah, Iron Man 3. I know this came out in I think like 2013. I think 2013. I believe. Yeah, this came out in 2013, and I've only seen this movie like one time, at least once. So I don't really. So there's not much I can really say about this one because, like I said, I've only seen it once, and the one scene that I can, honest to God, remember from this movie is when Tony Stark puts on the Iron Man suit. He catches each individual piece, but he messes up in like the waist part, like hits him in the nuts. Like that's the one scene I remember out of this movie that stands out to me. But I remember it was. I mean, I can't really say if it was good or not. I can't really say that because, like I said, I'm saying it a third time here, which is stupid. But like I said, I'm sorry I have a habit of repeating myself. I've only seen this once, so can't really give that much of an opinion on it, actually. Okay, so you all know that over in the top drawer right there, I've been getting all of the DC animated movies every month, and I'm still in the new 52 era, and I got the next chapter of that, Batman versus Robin, and as you can see, it's on Blu-ray. But luckily, I managed to find one that has the regular DVD and the Blu-ray in it. I got it for the regular DVD, and it's so weird that this cover does not say, you know, DVD plus Blu-ray. It just says Blu-ray up here. So yeah, I have not seen this one, but from what I read on the back of the cover, it's like it takes place after it takes place after Son of Batman, where you got Damian Wayne, who falls into a bad crowd and ends up fighting against his father, Bruce Wayne here. I've never seen it, but it's part of the new 52 era here, so yeah, I can't really give that much of an opinion on this movie either. So the next two movies, you all remember from last month's movie haul? I think I talked about like, what do you call? I think it was like 2 or 3 Asylum movies. I can't remember, but you know, since I'm an Asylum fan, I got 2012 Zombie Apocalypse and Nazi Overlord. Now, 2012 Zombie Apocalypse is its own thing. It's not cashing in on the success of anything here, but I remember this movie quite fondly, actually. What do you call? And the two things that stand out in this movie that I remember, there was one dog that they find, that the human characters find, and it starts following them around, and then eventually it turns into a zombie. It dies and comes back as a little jet black zombie dog, and then at the end of this movie there was a zombie tiger. Yes, you heard right. In this movie, there is such a thing as a zombie tiger. Now, I think Zack Snyder, who made Army of the Dead, that Netflix movie with, oh my god, with Dave Bautista in it, that takes place in like post-zombie apocalyptic, zombie-infested Las Vegas of all places, how that had the zombie tiger in it. I think this came out first, so I think Zack Snyder got some inspiration from the Asylum here. So yeah, I remember watching this movie. I think I've seen it like twice when it aired on the Sci-Fi Channel, actually, and I still love it how on the DVD cover it says see, they just call it Zombie Apocalypse, but when you look, it says 2012 Zombie Apocalypse, and it's so funny how it stars Ving Rhames, which I think is this guy right here. So yeah, I just remember like the zombie dog and the zombie tiger, and they did a lot of concept art for the zombie tiger. The concept artist for the Asylum, Sacha Burrow, his concept art is amazing. He has some of the best concept art I've ever seen for the Asylum, and I'll put the concept art that he did for the zombie tiger at the end of this segment here of Asylum movies, because there was a lot of different versions that he put on design before they went with the one in the movie here. So there's that one. And then Nazi Overlord. Now, you all remember that movie that came out, Overlord, where it was pretty much, I believe it was Nazi zombies. It was that movie that everyone kept on saying it's part of the Cloverfield universe, but the directors have clearly stated that it's its own movie. It's not part of the Cloverfield universe. But I don't know. I've never seen that movie, but I do remember seeing that the Asylum had they did a cash in, just Nazi overlord. Now I love how the movie has Tom Sizemore in it, who for those of you who are Asylum fans like myself, also played in the movie Megalodon Rising. So I've never seen this movie at all, but you know, it's an Asylum movie, so of course I had to get it. Okay, so you guys all remember, I think it was in March, I believe, no, not in March, I think it was in February, when I talked a little bit about that the M. Night Shyamalan trilogy, the Glass trilogy, well, and I talked about the movie Split, and well, here you go. I got the first chapter of that trilogy, Unbreakable, and it for like $5, and this is insane. This movie is the start of this trilogy is just insane. Like how Bruce Willis's character, it like he's what? How was I? It's like how I was explaining it when I was talking about Split in February, that M. Night Shyamalan takes the superhero genre and puts it in reality, and he grounds it in reality here, and they're just great movies. And Unbreakable, it's a really, really interesting movie, because it's like the movie, spoilers, you know, you've been warned. Like the movie literally starts off with, I've only seen this movie one time, but I remember it so fondly. Like the movie literally starts off with this train that got derailed, but you don't ever, it's like, you don't see it get derailed, but, and I wish we could have seen it. That would have been a really cool action sequence, to be honest with you, but you don't ever see it. And nobody survives this literal train wreck, except Bruce Willis's character, David Dunn. And he has no scratch on him. Like, this guy walks away from a derailed train, and there's not a scratch on him. And then you've got Samuel Jackson's character, Mr. Glass, for those of you who have seen this trilogy. He believes that comic book heroes are real. And again, for those of you who don't know, Samuel Jackson's character, Mr. Glass, the reason why he's called that is because his bones are not solid. They're so fragile. I mean, they easily shatter, you know, like glass, hence his name. And when you see him, I'm shocked that his character even made it into his age, into an adult age in the movie. I'm shocked. I am so shocked because of how fragile his body is, and they show his bones being broken a few times, you know. So it's insane. It's crazy how that character even made it into adulthood. It's shocking to me, really. And he runs a comic book shop called Limited Edition. I do like the name, but Mr. Glass is kind of a dick. No, he's not a dick. He's actually an asshole. And he follows David Dunn around because he thinks that David Dunn is an actual incarnation of basically somebody like, you know, Superman. You know, a guy who has incredible strength and can't get hurt. And the guy does have this odd, he does have this point, because it's like, when you look at David Dunn, he works as a security guard, and he always has this odd sense for when somebody has some dangerous shit on them or around them or something like that. So he basically is like a real life hero, a real life superhero. Just not as exaggerated as Superman is. So this is a very interesting movie, and I hope to find Glass and complete this, because Glass is my favorite out of the three, you know, and I can't wait to get Glass here, because Unbreakable is a great movie. It is. I give the movie a I I give it a 10 out of 10, to be honest with you. But I'm happy I found it. I'm so happy I found it, because it's the Glass universe, the Glass trilogy. Aside from, I think I'd have to say it's probably like my. I would probably have to say it's like my fourth favorite fictional universe, because my third is the Marvel. Is the Marvel universe, is the MCU. So it ranks as like my fourth. But anyone who has not seen this definitely needs to get all three movies and watch them in one go, because just M. Night Shyamalan really outdid himself with them. Okay, so sorry. Okay, so the next movie that we have is a monster movie that I saw the trailer for it on YouTube, and I remember the CG for this monster looking amazing. But here we have Gremlin. Now, this has no connection to the Gremlin movies from the 80s, and I think it's okay. I know the first movie. I know the Gremlin movies are. You know what? I honest to God, I don't know when those movies came out. To be honest with you, I don't know when they came out. I honestly don't know when they came out. But if you all remember, during March, I told you guys I almost got the what do you call? I wanted to get the Gremlin holding a machine gun figure, and I was so hoping that figure was there at Brad's yesterday, but somebody bought it. Like, damn, I really wanted to get that one, but instead I got the knife head figure, and I have no regrets at all here. So yeah, it's so weird that the movie's just called and that someone took the name, just took the S off, and no, this is not an Asylum movie or, you know, a Sci-Fi Channel movie. This is a completely different B-movie company, and yes, that is what the monster looks like. It doesn't look like the big-eared gremlins like you see in the what do you call, like you see in the older movies. I think they're from the 80s. I want to say they're from the 80s or 90s. Like I said, I have no clue when those movies came out. But the design of this thing, just on the cover of this, on the front and the back cover here, it has a very interesting design, and the CG actually looks pretty decent. So I only saw the trailer for this movie. Oh my god, look at this. Look at behind this dude here. There's the gremlin like in the background, and then there it is on the street. And then apparently, I guess the more it kills, it grows to like gargantuan size here. So that's actually very interesting. Like, it comes out of a box tiny, and then it grows like to not kaiju size, but I guess like Alien Queen, like Xenomorph Queen size, I guess. I've never seen this movie, but I saw the trailer for it on YouTube, like, way back in, I think way back in 2016. And I remember the CG actually looking pretty good, and I'm like, oh, I really want to watch this movie. Then I tried to look for it on YouTube, because a lot of monster movies are on YouTube. I mean, hell, I just downloaded Deep Rising off of YouTube. So, what do you call? So I was hoping to find this movie, but it's not on YouTube. And I pretty much like forgot about it until I saw this, and I'm like, oh shit. And then I'm like, oh, I'm definitely getting this. So I've never seen it. So, like I said, I've only seen the trailer. So hope this movie's good when I actually get a chance to watch it. Okay, so I think we're like halfway through the this month's movie haul here. Now, the next I think like what do you call it? I think like the next 4 movies are movies by the Sci-Fi Channel, but these movies are from the, I think they're all from like the era of like between 2005 to 2009, I believe here. And these are the movies that are like kind of fallen a little bit into into obscurity because it's a Sci-Fi Channel, and for some odd reason those movies get hated on like no tomorrow. So the first one we have is Carney here, and I remember watching this movie like twice, and yes, that is actually how the monster looks in the movie itself here. And you got Lou Diamond Phillips in here. Now, I remember this movie very fondly. Like I love this tagline: "Step right up and die." Like, I just love this. Like, the whole premise of this movie is that there's in this small town, there's this this carnival the carnival comes to town, and it's full of it's like, you know, the sideshow freak show. So they kind of brought that back, and then the host of this carnival had his main attraction is this thing. And apparently it's the Jersey Devil. There's not many movies made of the Jersey Devil, which, you know, I don't know whether to say if that's a good or a bad thing or not, because the Jersey Devil, it's an actual cryptid that in the woods in New Jersey, in the state of New Jersey, out in the woods, people have claimed to have seen this weird ass creature. Sorry, I almost belched. Sorry about that. And people have been trying to look for it for a while, and some claim to have caught the damn thing on camera. Well, they've Sci-Fi made a movie about it, and this was back in 2009. So the CGI in this movie is actually not bad. Like, back in back in the 2000s, they're like the Sci-Fi Channel's CG before the 2010s. It's like their CG was actually pretty decent, and this was one of those movies, and it's like, and the creature, I think total, I believe, has like 6 minutes, like 5.5 minutes, not even, I don't remember if it was 6 minutes. I think it was, I know it's at least like 5.5 minutes of screen time, but this was one monster movie that I do have a lot of memories of, and it's so crazy how, as I was saying about the plot, like, the main attraction is this thing, and the guy says it's to be theatrical about it, because it's a carnival thing, you know, the guy he over-exaggerates it, and he's a showman. And he calls this thing the devil himself. And, of course, the thing escapes and, you know, starts going around the woods of the small town, killing people. And the way this thing dies is so interesting. Like, Lou Diamond Phillips' character, I think he was the sheriff. He runs a truck into it, and it destroys the Ferris wheel here. So the thing about the Sci-Fi Channel's movies is that the way their monsters die is very creative. Like, every monster death, they always have this creative way of killing the monster every time. But would I recommend this movie? If you're only to monster movie fans, it's not that bad, really. Like, it's just a little something to watch whenever you feel like it, but I would only recommend it to fans of monster movies. Okay, so the next monster movie from the Sci-Fi Channel is one that has been, you know, it's been played in a lot of movies over the centuries. Now, we all know the giant squid / giant octopus genre of monster movies. You know, there's Octopus 2, River of Fear from the early 2000s, and then you've got, I think, the original 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, which I believe was made by Disney back in the day. I don't remember when that movie came out. I think it was made by Disney. I don't freaking remember, actually. I honestly don't know. And then also there's the famous monster movie from the 1950s, It Came From Beneath the Sea, with amazing special effects by Ray Harryhausen, where the giant octopus, well, actually hectopus, because Harryhausen only gave the thing 6 tentacles, but that was because of budget reasons, and it destroys the Golden Gate Bridge in San Francisco. That's a great movie, by the way. It plays on every monster movie cliche you could possibly think of, but Harryhausen's special effects are just amazing to watch. And then, of course, with The Asylum, they did Mega Shark vs. Giant Octopus. So giant squids and giant octopi have been in monster movies for years. And the movie that I have, the next one, is Eye of the Beast. Now, the thing about this movie, it's literally, the literal premise of this movie is like, you have a giant squid attacking a fishing town, and this government scientist is sent in to investigate. And the thing about this movie is, this came out in 2006. I could have sworn it was 2008, but apparently not. The thing about this movie is they keep the CGI to such a bare minimum. Like, anyone who has not seen this, I definitely recommend this one. Because, I mean, look, I hate the debate where, people are always saying, oh, using practical effects is better than CG. I can't stand that shit. I can't stand it. Now, I'm just going to say it right now. I'm more of a CG fan. Do I like the use of practical effects? Yes, I do. Because when a movie gets to use actual stuff on the set, and it looks cool when you see actual stuff there. I will admit I enjoy seeing practical effects once in a while, but I love CGI a lot more because of the fact that you have a lot more freedom with animation. Do I like practical? Yes, I do. I've grown up watching Godzilla and a bunch of Japanese kaiju movies, so yes, I get it. But this movie uses a mix of practical effects and CG. But the thing is, the CGI is kept to a bare minimum. To a seriously bare minimum. Like, the only times they ever use CGI in this movie is when they show the giant squid in full. Now, on the cover, it looks like it would be a giant octopus here, but no, it's a giant squid. And most of the time, when it comes to the tentacles, they use puppets, and the puppets are actually good. This movie, like I said, I can't recommend this movie enough. And okay, you see this right here, this poor dude look like he's getting ripped in half by the giant squid here. There's like no gore in the movie at all, so I don't know why they did it like this. But literally, there's like no gore at all in the movie. But look, when you flip it up, look at him when you I don't know why. When you flip it upside down, look at his pose. I don't know why. It just looks so funny. I just now noticed that. This is just so hilarious. This is so hilarious. But anyways, yeah, I can't recommend this movie enough here. So definitely check this movie out. CG kept to a minimum, and the CGI is actually pretty decent for a Sci-Fi Channel movie, to be honest with you. But the heavy use of practical effects tentacles is what, like, pretty much sells the movie, I guess. Okay, so the next movie that I have, now this next movie from the Sci-Fi Channel, it has one of my favorite actors from the channel, Corin Nemec. And for those of you who don't know who Corin Nemec is, he played in Robo-Croc and Sand Sharks. Now, here we have Sea Beast. Now, this was the first movie that I've ever seen with Corin Nemec in it, and he's not on the... Okay, he's not on the cover. And this never happens. I'm telling you this right now, this does not happen, and clearly the cover looks like Jaws. I mean, you can clearly see where they got the inspiration from for this cover. But there's not a single scene in this movie like this. It's more like this actually on the back of the cover here, and yes, that is what. See, and I love how with these covers they actually. I like how with some monster movie covers where they actually show you what the creature really looks like. And this is what they actually look like here. They look like anglerfish, but with like the body of a frog. And these things are these amphibious type creatures with when their tongues like they shoot out like chameleons and they grab you and then they just start, you know, ripping you up. And this movie is a good one. The CGI in this movie, I mean, this movie came out in 2008. Now, the CG in this movie is actually good, and they do use some puppets in here. Like in this movie, there's an adult and a bunch of babies that hop around and kill people. But this is one of those, like, this is a fun one. Like, the CGI in this is actually pretty good. It's actually pretty decent. It's not that bad, really, to be honest with you. But when I first saw this movie and I saw like Corin Nemec, I didn't know it was Corin Nemec. Actually, I didn't even know who the guy was. I just saw like, oh, this is our main character. So, would I recommend getting this? I would recommend, if you want to see a fun monster movie, kind of like Eye of the Beast, I would definitely recommend watching this movie because CGI pretty decent actually, and the use of puppets is very minimal. Like, I love how this movie goes heavy on the practical effects and very little CG, where this one goes heavy on the CG and very little practical effects. But yeah, you can tell by the monster design that it looks cool, and the monsters in this movie, there's a lot of screen time for these things. I think there's like 8 minutes. I think there's like 8.5 minutes of monster in this movie total. Like, they show this thing a lot. So I love the fact that they showed that this movie loves to show off this thing. Loves to show off these things. It's mainly the babies that get the heavy amount of screen time here. So definitely watch this if you guys haven't already. It's a fun movie, so I'd recommend it. Okay, so now the next movie that I have in this month's movie haul. Okay, for those of you who love iconic monster movies and iconic movies all in general and just monster movies all in general, now we all know the story of Tremors, giant underground worms that attack people. And it's so funny how the Sci-Fi Channel, I don't know if this next movie that I'm going to talk about is a Tremors cash-in. I highly doubt that it is, but it literally feels like it. It feels like it is, but it ain't. You know, I don't know if that makes any sense. Because our next movie we've got Sand Serpents from the year 2009. Now, this movie, I've seen this movie. I think I've seen this movie as much as Sea Beast, and I've seen Sea Beast quite a few times actually. And it's the same thing here with Sand Serpents. Now, the premise of this movie is like, it takes place, it's like the war in the Middle East. It's like you have some US soldiers who get attacked by the Taliban, and while they're fighting and everything, they unleash by accident these giant prehistoric worms. And see on the cover here how like they look human-sized? I'm telling right here, you see how they kind of look not really human-sized, but they look like probably graboid size. I'm telling you this right now, these things are kaiju size. In the movie itself, like literally, these things are kaiju. They're like kaiju size. They're like 1954 Godzilla size. And the CG for these things is actually great for a Sci-Fi Channel movie. This is actually better CG than the other 3 movies here. Like, this is the best CG wise out of the 4 Sci-Fi Channel movies here. And the monsters in this movie, they don't get that much screen time. And I don't know if that was due to budget reasons, but
Out of all the four, I would recommend this one as much as Eye of the Beast and Sea Beast, because the CGI for it is great, and the fact that, this takes place during the war in the Middle East, I can't believe the Sci-Fi Channel actually got to do that. So, yeah, I have a lot of fond memories watching this movie a few times. I think, yeah, I've seen it about 3 times here, and it just so sucks that the monsters, they only get like, I think total it's, I think almost 5 minutes of screen time out of an hour and a half. But when I mean this movie feels like Tremors, I mean literally vibrations is what causes these things to come up out of the ground, and they dig underground. Like that's what I mean by it feels like a Tremors cash in, but it's not. It's its own. It's like its own thing. So yeah. It was really short talking about this one because when it comes to the Sci-Fi Channel's movies, there's really not that much to talk about, really, to be perfectly honest with you. Okay, so, oh, sorry. Okay, so another movie. Very itchy nose for a hot second there. Now, the next movie that I have, I don't know if it's made by the Sci-Fi Channel, but I remember seeing it airing on the Sci-Fi Channel. Now, we all know, I mentioned this in the Small Hall video when I talked about the movie, the Chinese giant snake movie, Monster Python. Now, we all know the giant snake genre. It's probably one of the more popular subgenres in the creature genre. I will do a video breakdown explaining that because I say creature genre, it's not monster genre. You know what? I'll do a whole video breaking that down at some time here because there's a lot of things that I am sick of people saying. So when it comes to creature movies, that calling some movies monster movies that aren't monster movies. Anyways, I'm not gonna get into all that here. But we all know the giant snake genre. You know, the Bow and Python films, the Anaconda franchise. You know, so yeah. Everyone knows like movies about giant snakes. And then we got this movie here, Mega Snake. I've only seen this movie one time, but I do remember this movie being about this rare, and I'm telling you right now, on the cover it looks like the creature could be a giant cobra, but the movie's not a giant cobra. The snake's design is so radically different from any other snake seen in a movie, in a creature movie. So I just remember this thing being completely, just its whole look being completely different, and I remember enjoying it for what it was. The CGI in the movie, I kind of compare it to Mega Shark versus Crocosaurus, or the Asylum's other monster movie, Mega Python versus Gatoroid. I've only seen this movie once. This is not an Asylum movie, and I don't know if it was made by the Sci-Fi Channel, like I said earlier. I don't know. I remember watching this movie one time as a teenager, and I liked it. And this movie came out in I didn't even know it came out in '06. Okay, well, I don't really have much of an opinion on this one. I watched it once and I liked it, and then I just saw it at Zia's, and I'm like, oh shoot, this movie. Okay, so we got one more movie to talk about, and as you can see, I didn't get this many. I didn't get as many movies this time like I did in March and in February here, because most of the money I had saved up went to these two, and then there's the $20 shirt from Zia's. So I saved the best movie that I got for last here. Now this movie. Now, hold on a minute. Okay, so this last movie here for this month's movie haul, everybody knows. This is for all of you kaiju fans out there, fans of Toho, fans of, just tokusatsu or Suitmation kaiju genre from Japan. I remember buying this movie in the Legacy collection, but I couldn't put it in the English dubbing. It was all in Japanese, and then I found this movie on YouTube in English dubbing along with its two sequels. also in the English dub. So it's like I already have these movies, but I got it. I got the first on DVD here, Gamera Guardian of the Universe. Now, the start of the awesome Gamera trilogy from the '90s, from the director who would later direct Godzilla, Mothra, and King Ghidorah, Giant Monsters All Out Attack in 2001. Now, I got this movie. This is the English dub. This is the English dub version. I got this one because I saw like the special features on it mainly. So I got it mainly because of the special features. But you know, I will, when it comes to Gamera's movies, like when it comes to his original franchise that's in the 1960s all the way to from 1965 to 1980. Now, his first three movies in his older franchise, you know, Gamera the Giant Monster, Gamera vs. Baragon, and Gamera vs. Gaios, those three are great. Those three are the best ones out of the bunch. Every other movie after that, you would think that as the years go by, the movie technology would get better and better. It does not. It gets cheesier and cheesier and cheesier, which really sucks, actually. And so the Showa Gamera era is, like I said, the first three movies are the best ones, and then the rest of them, you're like, they're very, let's just say that. I am very sorry about that. On my GoPro, the memory got full, so I had to clear it out. Like, it just cut. Now, it said memory full, and I had to clear it. So, yeah, I'm really sorry about that. So, as I was saying about Gamera's Showa era, the movies after Gamera vs. Gauss, they just got cheesier and cheesier, and it I don't know why. I mean, sorry. Sorry. I don't mean to belch in my videos. If I do, I feel like I'm about to sneeze, but what do you call it? If I do, I'm sorry. They just come up, so I apologize for that. But 1980s Gamera Super Monster, I don't know, that was the cheesiest out of the bunch. And when Gamera's legacy ends with that, when his first franchise ended with that, at that time Gamera was pretty much dead in the water because of like the potential that they had to be as good as the Godzilla movies that were coming out at the same time, and yet Godzilla still did it better at that time. So, yeah, somebody at Daiei Studios, the company that owned Gamera at the time, decided to bring Gamera back in the 90s and take him a little more seriously, and out comes the 90s Gamera trilogy here. Now, what I think, if I'm not mistaken, this movie, it did come out in 1995, the same year as Godzilla vs. Destroyer. Yes, I say Destroyer, because in the movie itself, they call it Destroyer. And I hate the name Destroyer. Oh my god, I can't stand that name. I don't know why. I know it's on the poster and everybody pronounces it that way, but I go by what the movie says when you watch it in the English dub. Destroyer. Actually sounds a lot cooler than Destroyer. Oh my god, I can't stand that name. I don't like saying it. But anyways, I think this movie came after. Last I looked, this movie came out after Godzilla vs. Destroyer. So it's like, oh god, Daiei Studios was like, oh, Toho actually killed off Godzilla, let's bring Gamera back. And what I just find so funny is, like, out of all of Gamera's enemies from the Showa era to come back, Gaios is the one that has the more popularity here, because it's like, he's the main, well, I should say, are the main enemy in this movie, and they come back in Gamera 3 Revenge of Iris. So it's so interesting how in the 90s trilogy, Gaios is in 2 of those movies, and then also in the Showa era, Gaios was in, I think, like 3 of them in the main plot, and then it was in one of the other movies as a flashback. So Gaius is shown a lot. And, well, then also Gaius was in Gamera the Brave from 2006. So Gaius is like one of Gamera's most popular enemies to fight, and I love the '90s one a lot better because it's actually pretty They actually made this thing pretty terrifying. So yeah, I have never seen the English version on DVD before, so I'm really happy that I got it for, hey, $10. You know, it's worth it here. So yeah, I mainly, like I said, I got it for these special features here. So yeah, now I'm telling you this now before I end this little bit here. For those of you who have not seen if you have seen Giant Monsters, the Godzilla movie Giant Monsters All Out Attack from 2001, if you've seen that, and that is one of the best Godzilla movies ever, hands down. That movie's right up there with, like, Godzilla 2000, really, so... Yeah, and the fact that the same guy that would later make that movie directed all three of these is amazing. So for those of you kaiju fans who have not seen the 90s Gamera trilogy, definitely watch them, whether in the English dub, if you can ever find the English dub, or in Japanese. They're great movies in either language, and the thing about the English dub or the Japanese version is, well, mainly the English dub, because when kaiju movies get English dubs, a lot of scenes get removed, which sucks, and then they add in other scenes, which, like I said, it really sucks, but these movies, they don't do that. The English dub versions actually have the whole entire movie there. It's like the Kraken releasing of Godzilla 1984. It's the uncut Japanese version, just dubbed in English. Well, it's the same thing with these. So, which is amazing, which is really good. So, anyone who has not seen these, definitely check it out. Like, the effects in this movie, there's a couple of them that are like, okay, this came out in 1995, so yeah, there's some cheese in this movie. There's some. But the rest of the time, the effects, whether it be the very minimal amount of CG and the suits and the miniature sets and the destruction of the miniature sets, are all really great to watch. So I can't recommend this movie enough. Higher than any of these movies here. So yeah, that's the last movie I got for this month's movie haul here. Okay, so alright, so showed off the two figures and showed off all the movies. Oh, and if you guys noticed, I've had no odd difficulties this time, because remember the last two movie hauls I did in February and in March? Remember I had the technical difficulties where I've lost footage of an unboxing, like how I've lost footage of the unboxing for the Indoraptor and the unboxing for the Lost World Raptor? Well, look, if you notice, that didn't happen this time, thank God. Thank Christ, the only technical difficulty I had was my GoPro's memory getting full here, and I had to clean it out. So yeah, there's that. That's a good plus here. So now that you've seen me talk about these two pieces of awesomeness right here, and all the movies that I got. So yeah, you've seen that once again here. I hope you all enjoyed that. It was a lot of fun getting these. Like always here, just like the last couple months. So please be sure to like, share, and consider subscribing, and as well as follow me on Instagram at LizardMan2021. And also, for those of you who have a DeviantArt account, please be sure to follow me or watch me really at Dimetrosaur2022. I post some fan art for the TV series Primal. Gendy Tartakovsky's Primal. Can't wait for season 2 to come out this summer. And also some kaiju fan art. So I know it's simple, but I try to be as good with it as I possibly can. So yeah, links to both of those are up there in the banner. I hope I'm pointing to the right place here. I believe I'm pointing to the right spot. So if you go on the bottom right corner of the banner, the links to both of those are up there. So yeah, this is Tim W. Rago, and I'm gonna say peace out, everybody, and I'll see you all in whatever video I decide to do next. All right, have a good one, everybody.